All right, so Nana, season 1, episode 6.
ねえナナ、私たちの出会いを覚えてる？私は運命とかかなり
I
信じ
think
ちゃう
this
た
is
ちだから。
the same thing that she said in the first episode, if I remember correctly. Like the same shot, I think.
神様、仏様、大魔王様。
It's an email from... Oh wait, no, this is the first episode.
あ、ご返却ですか？それならこの人に言ってください。
What episode is this?
お世話になりました。
Wait,
店長にもよろしくね。
what episode is this?
頑張ったかいあったじゃん。
一郎言うな。
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I'm tripping. Okay, sorry. I'm rewinding it back again. I was like, wait, this seems too familiar. I don't know. Because I guess, where did we last leave off with Nana K? I guess, the last thing that we left off was with her and Shoji. Yeah, like getting together, I think. And so this is, okay, so it's all reconnecting back to the first episode. I see. Okay, so this is her officially being able to move to Tokyo.
春だ。とうとう春が来た。待ち焦がれた春が来たよ。
It's so interesting that both her and Nanao, like, have this, like, connection to spring. Like, I think for Nanao, it was, it was she and Ren met during the winter, and I don't know, there's this whole thing about, like, spring being, like, a time of change. So it's just interesting that they're, like, I mean, obviously their timelines align because they ended up on the same train, but just in their respective lives, like the timing. I don't know. Maybe that's a stupid thing to say. Also, fuck, I need to get the charger. Oh, no. Okay, I'm missing the intro. Okay, right on time. Jackson Hole.
少女の大学合格を祝して。
乾杯。
Oh, look at the two of them. Ouch.
飽きしてない証拠だね。
Whoa, wait, hold on. I gotta rewind.
やったじゃん。
Not a loser.
一郎
That's
言
so
うな。い
mean.
や、本当よかったね。俺絶対落ちると思ったもん。
Who's that guy?
もしもし、ナナ。
Oh,
違ったらどうする。
his excitement to tell Nana's cute
い
though.
やいや、ありがとう。
Why has everyone got
気してない
locks?
証拠だね。
Everyone's rocking dreads these
あい
days.
つに。
気してない証拠だね。
That's kind of a crazy reaction. So they thought that he might be cheating on her?
ナナは今何してた？
荷造りしてた。
Oh, so she packed immediately after he told her. Like,
ナナがこれから東京。
oh, okay. Honestly, then his reaction in episode 1 actually makes a lot more sense because it is a bit, hold on, I'm gonna lower this. It is a bit crazy for him to be like, hey, like, I got into college. And she was like, cool, I'm moving literally tonight, like same day, several hours after. That is actually quite insane. And so I can understand why he was a bit hesitant and a bit, I guess, off-put by, when she showed up.
何これ、混んでるじゃん。早く座って庄司にメールしたい。
The codependency though is scary, man. Wow, Wow, why does it feel so? I mean, it's a long time because it's been a long time since I've actually seen the first episode. Sorry, guys.
すみません。
Oh, yeah, I forgot. Okay, okay. Yeah. Then the train stalls, and then they're there for a couple hours. Okay, yeah. It's all coming back to me.
で、ここ空いてますか？
どうぞ。
They're so different. It's so crazy. Just knowing their backstories, like, very, very, very different motivations.
なんかポンチンと違うオーラを。
But in the same way, somewhat similar. Like, I mean, for her, she's coming for her career, but also a little bit deep down, it's also for Ren as well. So in a way, they are both coming to ideally join their respective partners / exes again. Is it really gonna be like
動かないね。
the whole season, episode 1 again?
電車。さっきからずっとこんな調子でさ。
そうなんですか？
But I guess honestly, I'm not against it just because we're watching it, but with a lot more context on all of these characters, you know? So it's kind of a different experience.
いくつかと思っちゃう。
ついね。アナログな人間だから。
I judge someone by appearances again. I'm trying to see if that's in reference to something in particular.
その人かと思った。巡業の帰りじゃなかったんだ。
巡業？
コンサートとかギター持ってるし、プロのミュージシャンかと思った。はいはい、ナナです。庄司？
Yeah, her reaction was just after hearing her name.
なるほどね。男を追いかけて東京行くんだ。
違う。っていうかそ
I
れ。
mean, yes. Oh,
私は
wait.
一緒に行くって言ったんだよ。でも庄司が彼がダメだって。
なんで？
私には目標もお金もなかったから、そういう闇雲なのは良くないって。
なる
So she's seeing the connections to her own story.
着いたらちゃんと仕事見つけて追い返されないようにしっかり頑張らなきゃ。とりあえず乾杯だね。
ほど。乾杯って何？
庄司の大学合格に。
いや、それ私関係ないし。
じゃあせめて雪釣りの思い出に。
あ、いいねそれ。私もナナって言うんだ。ナナちゃん。
I'm very interested to see like the evolution of their relationship as they both learn about each other, because like we as the audience have learned, you know, the trials and tribulations that they've both gone through in the past however many years, and so we understand the context, you know, we understand all of these things, but the characters themselves haven't learned that about each other. And so I'm interested to see exactly how that unfolds. Like, I think that'll be interesting, because I think even the way that like the narrative was shared with and like communicated to us, like as the audience, was very interesting. But yeah, I'm also curious, like, because I think they'll have to be actually a bit more creative, I think, on how they will reveal it, like, in story, you know? And then, yeah, then she just runs off, doesn't say anything to her. This must be awkward for Shoji, though. Also, those are the only bags that she has to move?
何お前泣いてんの？泣くな。京介と純子も下まで来てるから。
Yay. Junko! Not me having the same reaction. I really love Junko. Can't wait to see more of her as well.
いつでも会えるんだし、飲み会はまた今度な。
Aww.
やっぱり居心地いいな。
It's like things are back to normal.
時代に戻ったみたいだ。
Yeah, yeah.
懐かしいというよりホッとする。ちょっと待って。
I was gonna say, why is she hesitating?
こんな当然のように止めてもらっていいのかな。
That's true. She didn't give him like any warning. Like, he didn't really have time to prepare.
いきなり迷惑だよね。住むとこ決まるまで純ちゃんとこに居候するつもりだったんだけど。
だってそうもいかんだろう。あいつら今一緒に住んでんだから。
Did she not know? Oh, okay.
いつから？
いつからだっけ。なんかいつの間にか京介が純子のとこに移り住んで。
もともとあの二人は熟年カップルのような落ち着きがあったけど、
I was gonna say old.
こっち来てからますます絆が深まったってことか。
I mean, it's been a couple years.
離れていた時間を早く埋めたいよ。
Have they not seen each other that entire time? Like, he never came to visit or anything? Oof, that's rough. I don't think I ever considered that, actually. And so when she cleans and,
名誉挽
yeah.
回するぞ。
Love cooking.
なんかこういうことしてると私ちょっと新妻みたい。毎日こんな風に彼の身の回りのお世話をしてくれてたらどんなに幸せかしら。このまま私もここに住むってのはどうかしら。
No. He's not into that.
おかえりなさい。
ただいま。
Yeah, this adds so much more context to this interaction. Like, it being super sudden, you know, it being...
なんじゃそら。
Oh, did he not
お前
notice?
そんなことしに東京来たんじゃね。
私片付ける。
いいよ。
It's also hard because it's literally like a studio apartment. So there's not much space. Like, it is a bit overbearing.
ダメだな私。
I don't think it's that bad. I think you can show. Oh God. This is
こんなんじゃダメだ。
not...
庄司に嫌われちゃう。
Okay, girl, hold on. This is what I mean about the dangers of like codependency, living for another person exclusively, and like not having like your own goals and ambitions going on. It's like, for her, she was saying like, oh, I could just do this and this could be my life and it'll be so happy and Shoji will be so proud of me, or, you know, whatever. And you see just like in their interactions, like him making a crack about her cooking, she's like getting offended by it. Him mentioning like, hey, when are you gonna get a job? When are you gonna do this? Or like questioning her cleaning, right? And basically not noticing it. She's already like, it's already causing strife in the relationship, because ultimately at this stage, because all she's doing is like caring for him in his place, it's like his opinion on everything that she's doing, everything that she's done, is essentially like the only source of like gratification that she's receiving. And so it's like, if he doesn't like the food that day, she's like, oh my God, he hates me. Oh, he's mad at me. Oh, this is terrible. Like, it will completely like derail her day, derail her life, purely because of, you know what I mean? Like, his opinions on these like small matters are, for her, because they occupy essentially the majority of her life and probably like her like sense of value, it's like, you know, such a catastrophe if, you know, he makes a comment on it that's not exactly the way that she wanted it to be. So, yikes, yikes, yikes. Oh, but the bathroom's sparkling. He noticed that. Oh, now he's like recognizing her effort and yeah. out. He's feeling guilty.
どうしよう。どうすればずっと好きでいてもらえるのかな。
Guys, I can't handle it. What should I do to make him always love me? Guys, this is scary. I'm scared. Oh, nah. This isn't the way, sweetheart. This isn't the way. Big yikes. Scary. Scary stuff.
なあなあ一緒に入ろっかお風呂。
それは
何それ今さらかまととぶって。
嫌。そんな恥じらいは忘れてしまったかもしれないけれど。
Hermits?
隠居生活
Exactly. What are you talking about?
明るいし狭いし、隅々まで見られちゃう。絶対や。彼氏と一緒に住むなんて、やっぱり私には無理かも。
She always just goes to these like extreme interpretations of things.
だからまだどっかぎこちないっていうか、二人きりだと緊張とかするし。
何それ地元で友達として遊んでた頃は
Yeah, I was gonna say, did they not spend time together one-on-one before he moved here? Or maybe it's different, like when he had... I don't know. Actually, I don't know.
友達と彼氏はやっぱ違う。
Oh, okay.
私の嫌なとこは彼氏には見られたくないの。
I was gonna say, I mean, y'all slept together. But I guess maybe it's like... Because she said it's the bathroom is small and bright, and so she feels even more exposed than in other, I don't know, locales. But, yeah, this is, I think, just gonna be an interesting, like, transitionary period for the two of them, because it's true that ultimately it seems, just thinking of, like, the timeline, that they hung out and were friends for some time, got together, and then within a short period of time, all of them moved to Tokyo without her. And so I guess they didn't actually have a significant amount of time being a couple back in their hometown. So I don't think I realized like that timing difference. So it seems as though potentially they were together as a long distance couple longer than when they were actually together.
けど
ねえ、これから駅前の不動産屋行くから付き合って。
無理午後からバイトだし。
そんな一人だと心細いよ、純ちゃん。
何甘えてんのあんたこれから一人暮らし始めるんだよ何でも一人でできるようになりなさい。
I mean, she's right. Like, what did you think, Nana?
無理だけど、私に一人暮らしなんてもっと無理かも。
Oof. Nana.
かなり古い物件でもいい？
敷金礼金ゼロ？しかも広いのに安い。
I'm still confused at this apartment. The apartment, it's old, but it's gorgeous, it's massive, and it's inexpensive. I feel like there's always a catch. Maybe I'm just like paranoid because I live in New York and there's always a catch, but I feel like something's just off. It's too
私が生ま
nice.
れるよりずっと前に建てられたそのマンションは
But it looks well maintained though. It looks well maintained.
作りで
It does look, yeah, a bit more Western, I guess. Wow.
何を言えば7階建てなのにエレベーターがないことぐらいで
A walk up, you know, sure.
という緑の多い環境にも
And the big windows? Are you kidding me? There's a catch. There has to be a catch. Maybe it's haunted. Maybe someone like was murdered in this apartment or
気
something.
に入った？
It's
窓から
fucking
眺めも
gorgeous.
かなりいいだろう。こんな条件のいい物件はめったに出ないよ。君すごくラッキーだよ。
Wait, so is the episode almost over? So it's really the first episode with just a couple of new scenes added that are just like fleshed out scenes from the first episode. But again, like I think it works well with like the structure, I think actually works pretty well.
あのカーベルで肩を並べて水面を彩る光を見たよね。あの頃口ずさんでいたメロディーをもう一度聞かせてよ。
Oh, yay! Okay, so that was season 1, episode 6 of Nana. Very interesting episode. I feel like I actually, because I had seen most of this from the first episode, I think I did a lot more talking during the episode about things that typically I would say for the end. But just to rehash my thoughts, I do like this in terms of the kind of this as a like narrative structure to drop you in the middle of a sequence of events with new characters that you are essentially like picking up clues and making assumptions about based off of what you see, because you're seeing them for the first time. You're making judgments based off of what you're seeing for the first time with pretty much no context. And then it basically spends, 4 episodes doing flashbacks to show you essentially like how both of these characters, these 2 main characters, what basically transpired in their lives that led them up to this point, and gave you a lot of information around their individual characters and what they've gone through, their relationships with other characters. So, Nana K, her relationship with Shoji and how that grew from when they first met until where they are now. Her relationship with Junko. She doesn't really have a relationship with, of course, I'm gonna blank on his name. Junko's boyfriend. She doesn't really have a relationship with him, but but also her relationship with herself, right? Because of everything with Mr. Asano and I guess all the other things that she sort of gone through. And then the same for Nana O, where it's her meeting Ren and getting close to the members of her band, and her sharing details about her history with her mom and how she was kicked out of high school, and just all of these sort of complexities and nuances of their individual histories. And then it gives you a completely different perspective seeing the exact same scenes again with that knowledge. And so I think it's actually a pretty like courageous decision to make narratively, to essentially have like your 6th episode be probably like a solid like 80% of your first episode. Also, I'm sure the animators were happy to sort of take a break for a week. I don't actually know how this was serialized, if it was released weekly or not, but yeah, I'm sure they were happy to just recycle some scenes. But yeah, and I guess to my point about it sort of recontextualizing a lot of the things that we saw in episode 1, I think one of the main things that it really recontextualized for me was the interactions between Nana and Shoji. I think I was probably maybe a little harsh on Shoji in the beginning. If I remember my reaction correctly, I was like, dude, chill. Like, she just got here. Like, what's your problem? Like, why are you not having a little sympathy for her to like move, take a breather, and take her time kind of getting her affairs in order. But knowing Nana, knowing Shoji, knowing what this move like was supposed to be for the both of them, and sort of what they decided together on like how they want to navigate this move. You know, Shoji first and then Nana coming after. It makes a lot more sense why he reacted that way. And I think the detail that we learned in this episode that makes it even more so understandable was the fact that it was quite literally the day that he texted her that he got into the university or the art school. She packed up her bags and got on a train and moved in like that night. Like that's actually pretty wild. And so I can understand him feeling like caught off guard, because as someone who, like I mentioned, lives in New York, I oftentimes have to host friends or family or people, you know, coming to the city, because I mean, hotels are super expensive, and it's hard to it's hard when it doesn't make sense, right? Or it just feels it's a bit fucked up, right? Like you have space, you have, you know, extra room, extra couch, whatever it is, to allow people to stay with you, and instead you're like, no, just pay like potentially $1,000, you know, in your week-long trip. Like it doesn't make sense. So anyway, so I have a lot of experience hosting people, and when I say like friends and family, I mean like people who I like know, not like relative strangers, but like people who I'm like relatively close to or extremely close to. And even then, I have to like kind of mentally prepare myself for people to be in my space, because, you know, my apartment, my last apartment was a 2-bedroom, and my apartment before that was a 1-bedroom. And so even when you have like, there's only so much space you can have in an apartment is what I'm saying. And so even though you may have like a place that you can retreat to at night or whatever, there's just something about having someone in your space that like you kind of need not even just a transitionary period, but like you need you need like a preparation period to like get yourself in the right like mind space to be like sharing your space with someone. And looking at Shoji's apartment, it's even smaller than any of the apartments that I've lived in. And so I can see the like eagerness. I can understand his eagerness to be like, oh, so when are you gonna get your own place, you know? And so, yeah, so I think that element of it really helps to, you know, humanize Shoji's reaction a little bit. I also think it's interesting. It's just funny because you would think, like, I think at the end of Nana K's backstory, it felt like her making that decision, or them coming to the decision of, you know, she's going to stay back in their hometown until Shoji gets, you know, into his art school, and then she'll come and join him. And so her basically having to navigate living in her hometown without her best friend and potentially only friend, question mark. I don't think we've really seen her with anyone else, as well as her boyfriend. I feel like there was this assumption that perhaps she would mature more in that time period, because, you know, or reach like a higher level of independence. But I think it was very clear on her, you know, the days in her moving to Tokyo that was like not the case. I mean, she was, you know, a little too clingy to Shoji, I think, you know, from his perspective, and a bit too like emotionally needy in a way. And like, I don't know, maybe I'm also being harsh on Nana, but like it was just, you know, a lot. And I think it shows in a lot of ways she has not quite evolved in that area, but also not just with Shoji, even with Junko, where she asked Junko hey, like, I need to go speak to a realtor. Do you want to come with me? And she's like, no, like, I have work. Like, I have shit to do. And she was like, oh, I can't go by myself. And Junko had to, like, kind of, like, give her some tough love and be like, dude, you need to mature. Like, you're 20 years old. Like, you should be able to talk to a realtor to find an apartment by yourself. Like, get real. Especially you're in, like, the big city now, girl. Like, kind of get with it. And so I think that's definitely some tension just surrounding Nana K that she'll really need to work on in terms of her character development, because I just don't think that that's something that the people in her life will be willing to put up with for too much longer, right? Especially that, like, they themselves have had to mature. Like, you know, they've moved out of their small town into a big city, into their own apartments. They have jobs, they're, you know, at school. And so they're doing all of the things that, wow, okay. Apple really is trying to sabotage my entire operation. It said that my, what's it called? My storage was full. And I was like, how is that possible? And it's because of all of my, like, Crunchyroll offline, like, downloaded episodes. And so I had a lot of One Piece videos to delete. Anyway, but back to what I was saying. So yeah, I think Nana's lack of maturity is gonna be something that, like, will definitely cause problems in the future, and it's something that I think she for sure needs to work on. Nana K, of course. What's interesting is this episode didn't reveal quite as much for Nana O, surprisingly. Yeah, I think a lot of the new content that we got around, you know, a lot of the new content, or at least context that we got in this episode, was still more surrounded around Nana K. And so besides the 2 episodes where we learned a lot about Nana O's backstory, I think we're still somewhat in the dark about, like, there's still an air of mystery around her that existed even in this episode. So yeah, I think very interesting choice. I did like it, definitely did appreciate it, but am also very excited to see beyond what we've already seen. You know, like, we're in the present, we've gone back, and I'm ready for the future. So that's it for today, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.